Okay, so not long after the stump incident with the dynamite, a friend of mine was over and we were watching the Dukes of Hazzard. Now, in this episode of the Dukes of Hazzard, Bo and Luke Duke run around behind the General Lee. They pop open the trunk. There happens to be a couple compound bows back there. So they each grab a compound bow. What else happens to be in the trunk of their stock car but a bunch of arrows with dynamite on it. So they each grab some dynamite arrows and they light them up and they just leveled some shack. I turned to my buddy and I said, listen, I got half sticks of dynamite. I got a longbow. I got some electrician's tape. Let's go have some fun. So we go out behind the barn and I set up an old barrel and I'm stringing up my bow. And while I'm doing that, while I'm stringing up my longbow, he's in charge of putting the dynamite on the arrow. So he's taping this dynamite on this arrow real good and taking his time, making sure it's nice and straight. And I said, come on, let's do this. And so I got my bow. And he hands me the arrow and I knock it and I draw it back and I said, light it. And he lights it and I let go and nothing happens. What had happened when my good buddy was paying such close attention to how he was taping this dynamite on the end of an arrow was he didn't pay attention to the rotation in relation to the knock. And so when I pulled back, that dynamite was on the wrong side of the arrow, and so when I let go of it, it just pushed up against the frame of the bow and stayed there. So here I am with this loaded bow that won't fire with a lit half stick of dynamite right by my thumb. And I pulled back just a little bit and I flipped it off of the frame just a little bit, and when I let go, because it wasn't sitting on the rest right, all the weight of that dynamite, as soon as I let go, that arrow just flipped like that and it landed right at our feet. So here I go again, running from dynamite.